Charlotte Peet, a British freelance journalist with notable bylines in major media outlets like The Telegraph, The Evening Standard, and The Times, has been missing in Brazil for over a week, sparking concern and drawing international attention. The 30-year-old journalist was last seen in the vibrant city of Rio de Janeiro, where she had reportedly been working on a story related to environmental issues. Her sudden disappearance has left both her family and colleagues in a state of shock, and has prompted a thorough investigation by Brazilian authorities. Peet's case has brought the challenges of foreign correspondence in volatile regions into the spotlight. Known for her insightful reporting on subjects ranging from politics to culture, she had gained recognition for her tenacity in the field and her ability to shed light on complex global issues. Her work often took her to areas that were not always safe for outsiders, a fact that was always at the back of her mind as she navigated the unpredictable terrain of conflict zones and developing nations. Friends and colleagues have described Peet as a dedicated journalist with an insatiable curiosity about the world. Her ability to build trust with sources and engage deeply with the stories she covered had earned her respect in the industry. Her recent trip to Brazil was part of her ongoing exploration of the environmental and social challenges faced by the Amazon region. This area, known for its rich biodiversity and critical role in global climate regulation, has been under increasing strain due to deforestation, illegal logging, and land disputes involving indigenous communities. Peet had been documenting these issues through interviews with activists, local community leaders, and environmental experts. She had also been reporting on the impact of Brazil's political climate on environmental policy, particularly under the administration of President Jair Bolsonaro, whose government has faced criticism for its handling of the Amazon. Peet's coverage was expected to shine a light on the balance between development and conservation in the country, but now her work has been overshadowed by the mystery of her disappearance. Her last known location was a hotel in Rio de Janeiro, where she had been staying while preparing for a series of interviews in the region. Friends who had been in contact with her in the days leading up to her disappearance reported that she seemed fine, albeit somewhat preoccupied with the challenges of reporting in a country undergoing political and social unrest. However, after her checkout from the hotel, Peet's communication stopped abruptly. Her family, who had been trying to reach her, became increasingly worried when they received no response to emails or phone calls. After several days without any contact, they reported her missing to both British and Brazilian authorities. Authorities in Brazil have launched an extensive search operation, scouring the areas she was known to frequent and investigating any potential leads. While the circumstances surrounding her disappearance remain unclear, initial reports suggest that there are no signs of foul play. Still, given the unpredictable nature of Brazil's large urban and rural landscapes, the authorities are exploring all possibilities, including the chance that she may have been caught up in a local dispute or that her disappearance could be linked to her journalistic activities. Journalists working in foreign countries, especially in regions marked by political instability, corruption, or violence, often face dangers that are not immediately apparent. The decision to report on sensitive topics, such as environmental degradation or human rights abuses, can sometimes provoke powerful entities who may seek to silence critics. Peet's work had put her in contact with individuals and organizations that could potentially be at odds with the ruling authorities or criminal groups with vested interests in keeping certain narratives hidden. While there is no confirmation that these factors played a role in her disappearance, such risks are a part of the landscape for international reporters working in volatile regions. The British Foreign Office, in coordination with Brazilian officials, has been providing assistance to Peet's family during this difficult time. Her parents, who have spoken publicly about their anguish and concern, have made multiple appeals for information and have expressed their desire for a swift resolution to the case. The situation has led to growing discussions on the safety of journalists in countries with unstable political climates, where press freedoms are increasingly under threat. Peet's disappearance has drawn attention to the broader issue of press freedom in Brazil, where journalists have often been targeted for their reporting on corruption, environmental destruction, and human rights violations. Brazil has seen an alarming rise in the number of threats against journalists, particularly those working on stories related to the Amazon and indigenous communities. In recent years, journalists have faced harassment, intimidation, and violence, with some cases resulting in tragic fatalities. These threats often come from both government factions and organized criminal groups, adding another layer of danger to the work of foreign correspondents. The Brazilian government has faced significant international criticism for its handling of environmental issues, and Peet's reporting could have brought to light uncomfortable truths about the country's approach to conservation and indigenous rights. While there is no evidence yet to suggest that her reporting had led to direct threats, the timing of her disappearance, just as she was preparing a major story on Brazil's environmental policies, raises suspicions that her work may have played a role in the situation. The case has caught the attention of the global press and advocacy organizations, who have called for increased attention to the safety of journalists, especially in countries with challenging political landscapes. Reporters Without Borders, an organization dedicated to defending journalists' rights, issued a statement urging Brazilian authorities to prioritize the search for Peet and to take immediate steps to ensure the safety of all journalists working in the country. The Brazilian press has also rallied behind Peet's case, with multiple outlets offering coverage and investigating her disappearance. This solidarity from local journalists highlights the sense of unity among reporters worldwide when one of their own faces danger. In Brazil, there has been an outpouring of support from the media community, with colleagues of Peet expressing their concern and offering assistance in the search. As days pass without substantial developments in the investigation, hope is beginning to dwindle, though those closest to Peet continue to hold on to the hope that she will be found safe. Her family and friends remain in constant contact with authorities, awaiting any leads that might bring them closer to finding answers. For now, Charlotte Peet's fate remains uncertain, but her case has drawn attention to the risks faced by journalists working in dangerous environments, underscoring the need for greater protection and support for reporters covering some of the world's most difficult stories. Peet's disappearance serves as a grim reminder of the risks involved in investigative journalism, particularly when tackling issues that affect powerful industries and governments.